The 46th annual Preston Street Criterium bike races were held on a hot and muggy Father's Day afternoon in the heart of Ottawa's Little Italy. Spectators were out in force to enjoy the beautiful weather and the local establishments.
Having a great time at Preston Street.
The featured races started with the elite women's event, which was set for 1 hour plus 5 laps of the 1 kilometre course, starting and finishing on Preston Street. The team to watch was the Ottawa-based Cyclery Racing Squad, featuring several national team riders and 2 past race winners, Annie Foreman-Mackey, who won in 2013 and 14, and 2016 winner Ariane Bonhomme. Both riders represented Canada at the Commonwealth Games in Australia earlier this year. The Cyclery team made sure to keep the pace high from the outset, and soon Foreman-Mackey found herself off the front of the splintering pack with a 10-second lead. She was soon joined by teammate Miriam Brower, and the pair worked well together.
Here's our breakaway.
But the group tenaciously held their lead to just 20 seconds, with Scottish rider Jennifer George putting in a series of counterattacks. But it wasn't enough, and the elastic snapped around the halfway point, and the 2 leaders quickly gained a lap on the main field. From that point on, the Cyclery executed a perfect team time trial to keep any other attacks in check. Foreman-Mackey crossed the line ahead of Brower to take the win, and the Cyclery topped it off with Ariane Bonhomme winning the bunch sprint ahead of another teammate, Emily Flynn, to make it a Cyclery 1, 2, 3, 4.
Our plan was to go out there and make it hard right from the gun. So we sort of, as soon as we started, we lined it up and tried to make it hard, a little bit of a race of attrition. And then once we sort of had the field thinned out a little bit, we started launching attacks. And and Miriam and I were able to get off the front and lap the field, which was pretty exciting. It's nice to have a teammate out there.
And Miriam, you came across to Annie after a few laps. Was that a planned move, or was it just spur of the moment?
Yeah, race director Sean Clark said be greedy, so we were greedy and we decided to put as many out front as we possibly could in the front half of the race. So,
all right, well, fantastic. What's next for you guys?
We head to Nationals on Tuesday. We start racing Thursday, so that will be our next block of racing, and then we head to BC Super Week, so it should be good.
A feature of Preston Street is the famous beer scale. The winners of the elite races win their weight in Kitchissippi beer.
Okay, here it goes.
A crowd favorite at Preston Street is the kids' races, which were well attended as always, with everything from toddlers to teenagers. The distances may have been as short as the athletes, but they displayed all of the heart and emotion of Tour de France stars. The final event of the day was the elite men's race, with 60 riders on the line racing for 1 hour 15 minutes plus 5 laps. The race featured 3 former champions, Osmond Bakker, Derek St. John, and Anton Verabey.
3, 2, 1, go!
As always, racing was very aggressive from the start. There were a series of attacks by riders like Eric Johnston, Max Rubarth, Anton Verabey, and others. But no move was able to gain more than a handful of seconds on the hard-charging field. Former race winner Derek St. John was forced to fix his own flat tire because he didn't have any spare wheels for his disc brake-equipped bike. But the officials turned a blind eye to him sitting out 2 laps, and he soon rejoined the fray. The most dangerous move came about 45 minutes into the race when a group of about 10 riders went clear, but it was never able to get a substantial gap, and the main contenders were all together going into the final lap, setting up a sprint finish.
And we have the riders around the corner. This looks like Luke Mudgell from H&R Blois going from the front solo.
New Zealander Luke Mudgeway took the bunch sprint ahead of local veteran Warren McDonald, and Eric Johnston rounded out the podium in 3rd place.
Congratulations, you won the 46th edition of the Preston Street Criterium. So, Luke, it was just you and one teammate here today. I'm thinking you were kind of an unknown for a lot of the riders here, so how did you guys play it?
Yeah, well, I guess I am an unknown. I'm not from the country, but I guess my team's from Canada, so I think everybody kind of knew I had some legs just because I'm riding for one of their teams over here and they know a few of my teammates. As far as the race went, I you know, I've raced a lot of crits in North America, and I kind of can judge a field pretty quickly, and so yeah, you just have to kind of see what's happening in the first 20 minutes, see what teams are going, and then you kind of figure out if it's going to be a bunch sprint or if it's going to be a breakaway. And today was definitely going to be, there's going to be breaks going up the road, and I just had to follow the ones that had all the teams in it. And if there wasn't a team in it, you know, it's not up to me to chase because I've only got one teammate, and if a team misses out, I'm not going to chase it, you know. So yeah, I just played it like that all day, and then I managed to kind of initiate the move that stayed away until the last lap. And yeah, I've got a pretty big track background, so yeah, I've always got a quick finish on me and crafty in the corners, and yeah, I just gave it everything coming down that last straight to get into the last corner first, and yeah.